Madridistas, welcome back to another episode of Let's Be Real podcast. Um, a good night away in Portugal. Beautiful scenic stadium. Um, Estadio Municipal de Braga. It's pretty decent. I've heard a lot of good things about the stadium. I haven't really seen our team play in it, and it was an absolute pleasure to actually. Not so sure about the pitch though. The pitch kind of looked, third rate to say the least. But everything apart from that, the crowd, especially, they felt like they had something on us, over us, coming into this game, which was surprising. But I like teams like that. I like teams giving us enough respect, but still thinking that they can, really go toe to toe with us. Over the course of 90. We'll get into it. We'll get into it. Before that, welcome my esteemed co-host for tonight, Doris. How's it been going? Champions League is back.
Champions League is back. It's a win, not like the biggest win we've had by any means, but still, a win is a win, and it's Champions League, so of course, we're extra excited, I guess.
100%. The only way we could lift our spirits, especially after Sevilla, was a Champions League game. At least on paper, a winnable Champions League fixture. Was exactly what the doctor ordered. Um, Before kickoff, there were a few concerns. Like I don't know if you know Doris. Hosselu was, tipped to start, but he apparently caught a flu or something. So he basically had to drop out of the starting 11, and in came Rodrigo. Well, especially after Sevilla.
Yes, and we
Yeah.
got a donation from Hassan for £5, and thank you, Hassan, for supporting the channel. Um,
Right. Okay. Okay. I didn't see it. I just saw that. Big up Hassan. Big up Hassan.
Big up, Hassan.
Every single time. You could have added something for us to comment on, but anyway, you know, must love, man, must love for
Sorry,
always.
this is the only time that we don't have the chat highlights on, like the only time, and you donated, so yeah. Sorry, Hassan.
Yeah, very bad timing.
It's not on the screen this time, sorry.
We had some difficulties,
Yeah, some.
bringing up chats. Some to say the least, to bring up chats for tonight. So, but yeah, big up Hassan, big up every single one of you in the chat. Um, so yeah, like we were saying, Doris, Joselu had a flu, had to miss out. In came Rodrigo, who we were speaking about, over the course of the last couple of months. Scored in the first game. Since then, has been bright. There has been many naysayers with Rodrigo, especially if you look at our panel, for instance, like I'm his biggest fanboy. I rarely have much positive things to say about Rodrigo these days. But on the other hand, like I love him so much, so I wasn't uber critical. Let's just say I criticized him to the extent that I felt was deserved, but some people really didn't like Rodrigo being given chance after chance to get on the end of things. Like yes, he's trying, he's being creative, but that end product, it was missing. It was really missing, and it was a very concerning thing to take in, especially considering our lack of dearth in quality striking options. If Rodrigo starts misfiring, it's peak for us. But tonight, I guess I hope it'll be a turn in fortunes for Rodrigo, because that goal meant a lot to him. You could see a release of tension and release of stress from all that frustration that he had pent up. But talk to me, Doris. Positive signs for Rodrigo tonight.
Yeah, for the first thing, from the entire game, I went for like 30 seconds to get a piece of pizza, and I missed the goal. But I watched I watched like for the only time, like for 30 seconds, yeah. but I watched the replay. It seemed like a bit of a scrappy goal, but still a long ball to Vinicius. You know, not the first time, not the last time. He plays it to Rodrigo. You know, hoping that he will get to it, and he did. You know, for our Mr. Champions League, it is kind of expected, I guess, at this point for him to score in the Champions League. But yeah, you asked for the league too, and yeah, he definitely seemed disappointed so far. But tonight, yeah, it felt like he finally felt that release, and all of the other players, congratulated him, for finally getting on his feet, and he was decent this game.
He put away that the one finish that we were talking about, and then there was the other goal, that was ruled out for offside. So Rodrigo, as far as his performance in isolation is concerned, he was pretty decent, and we were crying out for something, similar to this to be a confidence boost for Rodrigo, ahead of the Clásico in just 3-4 days. So this comes in very good timing. I'll be very honest. But let's look at from this angle here. So this is going to be the last time we're going to be touching about Rodrigo on this EP, because this is not the standards we expect of Rodrigo. He can do so much better. But one simple question, Doris, right? Which side of the spectrum are you on, right? Would you rather Rodrigo be ineffective for 90 minutes, do nothing, take nobody on, just be on the end of things, put chances away, or take responsibility on his own shoulders, beat 2-3 man, try to set up teammates, and be a live wire constantly throughout the entire 90? What would you prefer?
Well, in the first one, there's a goal. In the second one, there isn't a goal. So I'm gonna go for the goal every time. And if you ask, Mr. Cristiano Ronaldo, he will tell you the same thing. A goal is a goal. If you score a goal, no matter how you got to it, I think that's way more important, especially for a forward. Like if we were talking about for example Bellingham, like we did last time, it's a different topic. But for a forward, if you score a goal in a game, you win. That's it. You did your job, and it's not on him to be fair. To really, it definitely is on him to create. But if we're talking goals, it's goals. If I had to choose them.
Fair. Well, yeah, like some of the criticism that I've been hearing, over the past couple of months regarding Rodrigo is just, over the top, people losing their minds, early season blues. We have always seen this. Our players, they seem to go up a gear come February. It's just, it's just ingrained in your system. That's the way we, carry out our daily stuff, man. We don't wake up until February. It's just public knowledge at this point. But before we move on to the next few talking points, let's just look at some of the chat. Jamal is here. He says, "Vamos, big up Jamal. Thank you for tuning in. Lololol is back. A big up Raul." He says, "Great performance of Carvajal, Camavinga, Vini, and Fran in the first half." Yeah, I'm glad you mentioned first half, because after we went 2-0 up, I don't know what was going on. I'm very positive that none of our back line or the midfielders, really knew what was going on either. Dennis again was saying, didn't get to watch the game due to work tonight. How was it? Were any players that were impressed by today? Were there any players? For today, let's just say Camavinga was supremely composed. Had a bite to him today. Like Camavinga in the middle of the pitch, he was everywhere. Who else? Who else can you think, Doris? Who had a major? Obviously, Vinicius. He's just your talisman.
To be fair, Rudiger was decent. I
Yeah.
The
Left-hand side.
the culprits are probably Bavinga and Fran, but that's a topic for later. But for the players, I think Rudiger did a pretty decent job. You know, he ran this game, and to be fair, it shouldn't be like that. You know, it's not good that he has to run that much, but still, if he does his job, you know, then good on him and good for us, you know. But I would probably say him in the defense. For the midfield, I wouldn't really say that anyone was really that impressive, especially if you like combine both halves. Like you can take moments from players, you know, but you know, moments that were make a game, and if you look at the whole game, I don't think anyone was, you know, outstanding.
Outstanding, yeah, 100%. Maybe Vinicius, he was.
But Vinicius is Vinicius, you know, he does Vinicius things.
Fair. Yeah.
And it's good that, you know, he's back on his feet because, you know, the injury did not help him or the team. But thankfully, you know, tonight he was back on it. And that goal, 100% should have stood. That replay was kind of sketchy, but okay. And they showed it like way later and only like the graphic, not the real play. But, you know, not talking about it. It's
we can't really.
And even for the replay of Rodrigo's goal, like, you know, I came right after he scored, there was no replay for it. That's why I had to go online to find it. Like for the rest of the game, you never saw his goal again, ever. Not even half.
It depends on. It depends on match directors, I think. You know, people who you know call the cuts and the transitions and whatnot. Yeah, I've noticed, man. Like
probably the most important cuts you can make in a game. You know, it was a disallowed goal. It's not just an offside; it's a disallowed goal. Like you have to show that. Come on, like even if it's like clear as day, you have to show it. I mean, it's a goal, and especially if it's that close. And then you show us like a graphic of it, of like now real players, which we don't even know if it was like that, you know. Just saying. It probably was offside. I just think it's, you know, it's not really professional of them, you know, to not show something like that.
Yeah. I believe, you know, they can work on their graphics projection team, at least, you know, like it doesn't look convincing, let's be honest. But the offside thing, yeah, I just knew, you know, there was something wrong with the build up, but it is what it is, man. Vinicius again, monstrous performance. I hope we answered some of your questions, Dennis, but Hassan was saying, damn, I didn't even get to write anything, but I knew Rodrigo was gonna score 100%, man. Rodrigo needed that, you know, we needed that more than him, you know. Hassan was saying, Doris, we can barely hear you.
I hope it's fixed. I added some gain to my mic. Let me know if you can hear it.
It's super clear for me.
Yep.
I think it's better for...
headphones. Hassan, maybe it's you. Maybe it's not me. I'm kidding.
Right. Right. So let's talk about our main man, yeah, this season, right? We'll get into where we were lacking, right, in the second half. But let's talk about Jude's second goal. Before that, he was not as involved. He had a much more, I think, pragmatic role tonight. He had to do a lot of dirty work for Fran, which I wasn't a fan of, because Fran, regardless of if you put Jesus to support him, it's not going to work, because we all know what Fran's about. Head down, you know, stretch the pitch, cross it in, inshallah. You know, that's what Fran is. That's what he's going to be. I'm going to be real with you. You know, I've seen a lot of footballers growing up, even now, you know, coming through. But Fran, he has a ceiling, and it's very worrying. If he's a backup, fair enough. Happy days. If he isn't a backup, I'm pretty sure, you know, a club of our stature really would be forced to make some changes because the
You're cutting off.
can't go
Sorry.
long. Even now,
You're better now. Yeah.
maybe it's just the way I speak. No, I was saying if Fran actually starts the Clasico, it's gonna be peak. Like we won't have much chance of really coming back from it. I think that's the whole reason why Mendy was rested. Like what Carlos said in the post match, Mendy was rested and Fran started. So yeah, Fran, we all knew how it was gonna go. Like defensively, he's just yeah, like he'll have a good day where he'll look competent enough, but days like these, again, second half missing, man, absolutely missing. Was a deer in headlights. But yeah, Jude, he had to do some dirty work, but still, tried to link up play. Had a couple of good pop shots. That especially that shot chance where he chests the ball, brings it down, superb control. Kind of shoots it straight at Braga's keeper, but still, man, his application is what is super scary. It's not about his talent. It's Jude's application of what he uh, pictures during a specific breakdown in play. It's mad, man. There is that goal, right? When you look at the finish, it's the finish of a striker. You would attribute those kind of finishes to guys like Van Nistelrooy, Van Persie, Harry Kane, not a midfielder. So how do you explain that level of let's just say conviction? Because before you execute the move, you have to believe I can strike the ball so clean, can bend it around the keeper who is anticipating already that I'm going to go far post. He already is expecting the shot to go far post, but yet to still beat him, it's special.
Yeah, and it didn't even go to the side netting, which is you know,
Mm.
it should be easier for the goalkeeper. Thankfully, he didn't, save it.
Yeah,
But,
yeah,
uh, just we're talking about Jude. There's like last time in the last podcast we talked about it. What is really his role? Because if you
mm.
look at the chances that he created or things that he did in this game outside of
Yeah,
the goal, what did he do? Except cover for Fran. Not really much. And if you're looking for like from a midfielder standpoint, like it's great that he's scoring goal. That's amazing. Hopefully he keeps on scoring them. But if you look at like just his job as a midfielder, what he should do. When you look at guys like
yeah,
Cruz, like Modric, like Valverde even, or anyone, in the team that's our team, that's midfielder, there's like a very difference in style of play. And even the commentator said like, oh, he decided to pass and not shoot at some point of the game. Which was like, why are we surprised by that? Like, we shouldn't be surprised by that. Like, you would expect from a midfielder to pass it, to create something. I think it was like a cross to the far right.
cross to the back post. It was a similar angle to the goal that he scored.
Yeah,
So instead of calling it this time, he tried to dink it in.
yeah.
Yeah, I remember.
And I maybe not now, but I think it will be a topic next season. When hopefully we get a striker.
I don't get you guys, Doris. We shouldn't really, honestly, we should really, in all honesty, worship this guy. Let's be honest, because without him, our season will look completely different. You
Oh no,
can't
I'm
be
saying next
you,
season. I didn't say this season. I said next
right.
season we will talk about it.
Not like we shouldn't even be thinking about why is Jude not taking shots, or why is he not passing, or why
Look,
what is
this year
Jude
we
doing
won't have
outside of
Modric here.
goals?
The year after that we won't have Cruz here. We won't have people that create for him. Like it's kind of he. Let's say it like this: he takes up a spot of a midfielder. If we get a striker, or when we get a striker, you know, next year hopefully, or this winter even maybe, hopefully, um, he will have a different role with it, and we need to see. Like, I believe that he can do it. That's not what I'm saying. He's brilliant, you know, and I'm happy that he's scoring goals. I'm just saying, you know, with the formation that we play and just the style of play that we have, it's it will be a topic for next year. I'm telling you.
People will speak about it, 100%. But let me ask.
It's amazing. Of course it is. Like, and like our season, like you said, would be ruined. Honestly, ruined if we didn't have him. Like, we will have no one to score goals. Vinicius, he can only do so much. Rodrigo can obviously only do so much. Like, they got used to playing with Benzema too. That's also another subject here. Like, we don't have Benzema here, a guy that has been playing here for so long. You know, all of our players were used to him. Vinicius was used to him. Rodrigo, well, like, everyone was used to Benzema. You know, and Jude came into this team with everyone, you know, expecting Benzema to be there, and then everyone is confused. But you know, at least he can score a goal, so it's okay. You know, but if we actually look, you know, do we look threatening? Do we look, you know, we just kind of, you know, I guess relying on maybe if Jude scores or someone scores a goal, we don't have like a guy in our team.
100%.
You know, like he would score a goal 100%. Like you have for Benzema. For every game, you can say, yeah, Benzema is gonna score every game. I mean, now
See, that's
kind of going without for Jude, which, you know,
let me let me tell you this, Doris. Okay. Yes, we lack someone like what you said, a Benzema or a Cristiano, where before kickoff we are already 1-0 up, right? But maybe for like a 1.5 year period under Zidane, there was no instance in all of the 10, 12, 13 years I've been, you know, following our club, have I ever felt a strong belief that, oh, we are gonna score a lot of goals tonight. You know, it was due to the players that we have. We never operated like a Barcelona or a City where our systems or our coaching setup would be so fail-proof that, oh, we can go to a match day thinking, yeah, we are scoring 4-0 tonight. That's never happened. The last time that happened, I was 14 years of age, and you know it was 2009. Times are different, man. The league is different. Our resources are different. We still don't have a replacement for, you know, the BBC or, you know, that kind of attacking uh, talent pool. Like, we just don't have them anymore. All we have are, you know, tricky wingers who we expect a lot from, you know, who aren't exactly proven goal scorers. If we are talking at least Arjen Robben and Gareth Bale, like, we could still put some responsibility on them. Vinicius and Rodrigo still very young. They are not, you know, those kind of guys who's gonna, you know, pull your team out of.
I mean, Vinicius is
you know.
not the problem, and Vinicius is definitely one of the players that will pull your team, you know, from the gutter, I guess. But you know, at least he had someone to rely on. That's what I keep saying, you know. And from the BBC, yeah, but the BBC, we lost, you know, two Bs with that. So it's kind of unfair to, you know, comparing. When if we had, you know, two other world-class players like Vinicius is, then comparing him, you know, to them would be, you know, fair, I guess. But comparing his performance in general this season, I don't think it's fair, you know, when it's just not what he's, you know, supposed to do. Honestly, I feel like this is the same thing as making a defender that has never played with the three in the back play a three in the back. You know, it's different. It fucks with it screws with your brain. Like the player you had before that you could pass to, now you don't have, and a defender that used to have a player next to him now doesn't have him. You know, it's kind of a similar thing. You know, he is playing a completely different formation that he used to. Even though he's still hugging that line, the rest of the team doesn't look the same. You know, he's still playing the same thing he's playing. You know, the same lines, the same thing, but you know, the rest of the team doesn't look the same for him. And Rodrigo is a much bigger topic here, but again, Rodrigo doesn't have a striker there to to pass to, and we know that he's a good advancing and being on the ball. Even though this season he had a few moments, let's call it that, bad first touches, losing the ball, getting the ball stuck in his feet. Just it doesn't seem like Rodrigo, not the Rodrigo that we've seen at least in the like last 2 years, where he really showed his talent with keeping the ball down at his feet. It just seems like something is rocky this season, and we lost a Ballon d'Or winner, and we just pretended like, how dare you guys be this shit? I mean, it's unfair. I think it's just unfair, to all of them. I think every single player is just unfair. You're playing for
No, I
the
completely.
best in the world,
No, I
and
completely
he's not
understand.
the best striker in the world. And we just pretended like, how dare you play.
The thing is, Doris, we were looking at Rodrigo and Vinicius as wingers in isolation. Like, I completely understand the whole picture. What you said is the whole picture. When you're missing Karim Benzema, the wingers, they're not going to be as effective as when Benzema is there to orchestrate, the proceedings. It's just normal. We understand. We were talking about Jude. From Jude, we went to, all this. So sorry about that deviation. People just happens during conversation. A few comments. Hassan was saying, with all of the Alfonso Davis rumors, I doubt he'll be a starter next season. I think it's about France. It's just a matter of when. It's not a matter of if. Hassan was saying, I think even if we sign a striker in whatever formation we use, he'll be the most advanced midfielder with freedom.
And
Like was under Alonso.
yeah, that's fine. That is completely fine, and we're expecting that from him. He showed that he can do it, but still, the key word is midfielder. Midfielder.
Doris, when we sign a proper striker, our shape will revert back to the
Yeah, and
4-3-3.
that's
That's
what
what
I'm
I
saying.
believe.
Like, all of this is a topic for next year. This season, and right now, we just have to evaluate what we're doing right now. What can we do to not, lose and we are. I think
Yeah.
last time we talked if we don't win the league, we're so shit. How are we this season is so dead? How are we gonna recover from this? All those things. This season, it's just. I think it's gonna be forgettable. Not because of the players, like we had Jude, and Brahim, Fran. We had a few new players, especially Jude. But in general, I don't think we should, like you said last time, expect to win the league or even be devastated like you are if we don't win it.
See, I'm not trained to. Yeah, I completely understand. I'm not trained to temper my expectations, with regards to my club. I temper my expectations in life already. I'm not going to do that with the club that I love. Iraqi team, big up Iraqi team.
That's so funny.
What's funny?
Guys, if only I could show you the chat or a group chat with
Right.
and how many times he said that just in the last 2 or 3 years how much we know each other, that this season is over. Oh my god.
Oh yeah,
Even
yeah.
when we won the Champions League, the dude said that we fucking that we shit, that oh my god, this season is over and all that. So I don't trust you anyway when you say
See,
anything is over.
it's overpouring emotions when we suffer a loss, Doris. You should take it with a pinch of salt. You shouldn't you shouldn't swallow it. Yeah. Neat. But yeah, Iraqi was saying that was a very tight win. I think we could have done better. Thoughts, 100%, man. Let's go back. Like 7 years. Like an away game at Galatasaray. Right now it seems like a daunting proposition, especially if you're a United fan. But I remember, Bale's first season, traveling away to Gala, didn't have 1 ounce of, 1 iota of, fear or doubt or, any sort of uncertainty. Like he just knew no matter who starts, who is benched, who is out of form, who is in form, we are getting the 3 points, we are getting out. But nowadays, whether it's the general climate in European football or it's just us not within our usual, powers. Maybe that might be the main reason. But yeah, the matches are tighter. It's so much more closer than we ever thought it would come down to, and especially Champions League group stage games. Not gonna lie. Hassan was asking, you were 14 in 2009. God damn. Right, Hassan. A bit too old, apologies for that.
I was 11.
Yeah, so we were all, pretty old, damn old in 2009, Hassan. I hope you were not a sperm in 2009. That's the only thing I'll say. Iraqi Time was also saying, what are your predictions for the upcoming El Clasico and what is the suggested lineup from you guys? Early predictions, I would say it'll be a draw. I'm not going to say this on the official preview, no chance, but I'm going to tell you a bit more watered down honest prediction might be a draw, 1-1 or a 2-2.
Yeah, in the preview, he will probably tell you that we're gonna lose. No one
No, not about losing.
My prediction is not so much for the score because you just never know, especially for
Right.
like a classic, Like 2 years ago when we were probably at our strongest for a while, we lost.
Yeah.
Last season when Barcelona was their strongest in a while, they lost 4-0. So let's just not make a score prediction. But I don't, like you said, Mendy will probably play, and that's a good thing. Which it came out of my mouth is I'm never gonna say that again. And and the rest of the team is probably gonna look the same. Cruz didn't play today. He will probably play for El Clasico and Luka won't. And everyone else will probably just look the same, And the only
Chouameni would start.
And the only thing we can maybe hope for is maybe Brahim, maybe, we don't know, but maybe, But since we haven't seen him so far, really, and Ancelotti is now really, I guess, trusting him, which is a shame. I guess we're gonna get the good old Vinicius and Rodrigo combo and just hope for the best, for someone else to score.
Not Joselu starting for you?
I don't think he is starting. Isn't he injured?
No, he had a flu for today. I think the flu would be fine.
For the Clasico, right?
Yeah, most probably.
Yeah.
So,
well, he will
Rodrigo and Joselu.
Start,
Okay, for you, who would you start, Rodrigo or Joselu? Quickly.
Joselu, 100%.
Joselu, yeah? Fair enough, simple.
Start both,
And Vinny? What about Vinny?
Vinny, Joselu, and Rodrigo.
All three. So you're going to change the shape to a 4-3-3
Yes.
for one game.
In general, dude. In general, this shit is not working. We're playing two wingers as our strikers, and hoping, for Bellingham or someone, to do something else. It's not working. Honestly, it's only been like 10 or so games, so it's really hard to, predict how our season will go with the 4-4-2. But for now, I'm definitely not satisfied. And if we're gonna play Joselu, I don't think it's enough, playing Joselu and Vinicius alone, because you don't get the best out of them that way.
They can't combine well. Is that what you?
I mean, we've seen them. So it's not that they cannot combine, but it's not what you cannot compare it to Karim, for example. where
Yeah.
Karim Vinicius could shine. You know, he could, because Benzema would know how to pass the ball to Vinicius and then wait for him to get to where he wanted to and then pass it back to him, which is, you know, not something you see from Joselu. Joselu is more of a kind of player that will, you know, wait for him there, you know, wait for the ball to come to him. You don't really see him, you know, playing the ball and calling for the ball like you would for Benzema, for example. So that's like a huge game, or part of the game that's, you know, been removed from Vinicius and Rodrigo. So I think it's the only way, you know. And either way, we're gonna get back to 4-3-3. It's just the way it is. Next season, that's I think it doesn't have to be, but if we're gonna get a striker, I think that's the very viable option. And you know, if only Ancelotti played more of Brahim, it could have been a bit different. You know, we could have played that formation a lot more.
4-3-3.
Yeah.
Yeah. Brahim can do a role, can do a job, you know, down the right wing. But I honestly believe, you know, like what, it's been over 2 months since the season started, and we have stuck by this formation all throughout, you know, the small or the big games, you know. Nevertheless, I think the main reason is he must have tried out a lot of formations, you know, uh, in training, and it really mustn't have clicked out, you know, like the diamond has. And I think, you know, his eyes actually, you know, guides him. What he sees in training is actually forcing his hand to just rely on the diamond for this season. I hope we all, you know, we all stay afloat come April, May, because if my team is not taking the league to the wire, you know, taking the league to the last couple of weeks, last week, last day even, or, you know, the Champions League late run, you know, past the quarterfinals minimum, I won't be happy, honestly. I won't have any, you know, motivation to actually even come here and talk about the club, man, honestly, because I understand what reality is. I understand what we're looking at, what we're looking like with regards to squad depth and, you know, quality, whatnot. But yeah, if the results don't happen, I know it's unrealistic, but it's just the expectation that comes with the territory. You know, our club is not. Yeah, man. We ain't Plymouth Argyle or Wigan Athletic. You know, we're fucking Real Madrid. Right, let's talk a bit about tonight's game as well before we kind of, you know, wrap this up. Fede had a good game. I've lost my, you know, count, you know, how many times I've actually, you know, picked him up this season. I hope, you know, this isn't the way last season's Fede pan out, because we remember, you know, last season Fede started the season with a banger. He was on fire, scoring goals left, right, and center. But then, you know, stuff in his personal life, you know, post World Cup fatigue, you can call it whatever you want, but it never really, you know, looked the same post December. I just hope that's not the case this season. But so far, Doris Fede Valverde has been ticking all boxes as our
He's been good, yeah.
midfielder.
And I think we're always gonna compare him to what he did last season. Even the season before that. I wouldn't say that it's been a downgrade, because it wasn't, but he set the expectations so high last season with the amount of goals, like just like Jude, you know, he scored so many goals. We started to have like really high standards for him, you know, which we should, and he does deserve them, the high standards. It's just we started to expect, you know, him to be more aggressive, to be more attacking, to be, you know, which suits him. He has, like, his legs are probably to my head, you know, like just like his stride is, you know, is just ginormous, you know. And even this game, he had, I think, like 2 moments where he actually like tried to carry the ball forward, you know, which is I think that is his best quality. It's just like the how large his stride is, and just carrying the ball forward. He can pass it, he can shoot. Both of those
He
are
sets
skills,
up. He basically ignites the second goal. If you remember, he passes it to Rodrigo. Rodrigo cuts it back.
That's
Yeah.
what I'm saying. Running, Valverde is the scariest, Valverde, and I guess he stopped running for a while. Like in his personal issues that he had, you could you could see it on the field. Like the confidence he had was just not the same. He started to wait for the ball a lot more, not run so much, not be so sure of himself and aggressive, I guess, attacking like he was. So slowly that is getting back, on track. Even tonight we could see, he was getting it back on track. So that's the most important thing. And if we look at the season we won the Champions League, he played a lot of that season as a right winger, and that's also kind of a reason why we got to see so much of him, in that light. This season he's not been given that role. He's not been given a role of basically of a right winger or whatever Rodrigo was supposed to be doing. So as a midfielder, I think he's doing all right, and he can outrun anyone. Just the stamina, the engine this dude has is just a huge quality you can have in your team. Just imagine how many clubs and fans just whine every single day about their players not running and their players running out of stamina and fitness and all that. You don't have to worry about that with Fede. So as long as he keeps it that way and he can outrun and be the engine of this team, I'm more than happy to play him every game. And he deserves it. He's such a quality player. And I'm too big of a fan of Fede to criticize him. Even though he did have a rough spot last season, but I think all of this is happening because we're comparing him to that very high peak that he had. I mean, the final and last season, the goals and all of that, just come on. So it's still early this season to say, and
But it's
be just a forgettable season in my opinion. So as long as he keeps it this way, we are more than okay with him.
you're already hanging the towel up on the season. Yeah, you're basically saying it's forgettable in what fucking October.
I'm just realistic with my expectations. It's okay. It's okay to not win.
Yes, it's not okay. It's not okay. But
Tonight, just 1 year, just 1 year, you lost the Ballon d'Or winner. It was it's just
last year was that year.
Yeah.
Copa del Rey doesn't count. Remember?
That's what I'm saying. If we got,
We have to win
would
something.
you be okay with only the Copa? Would you?
No.
That was the point.
But still.
I don't think we're gonna win the league. Let's be realistic. Do you think we're gonna win the Champions League?
The league we have, I
The
think.
Champions League.
I think in the league we have a real chance, Doris. I think we do.
But that's the thing. We have a chance, but it's realistic.
The Champions League, I don't think we have
Every
any
year
chance.
We're gonna have a chance. Every year we're gonna have a chance. It's just the way it is. Like you're the.
In the league, if we are consistent enough, at least to grind out results, if we get a little lucky with your 1-0s going our way.
Real Madrid and Leeds and grinding out.
I know. It doesn't. They aren't exactly on the same page. Yeah, they aren't exactly the best of friends, but let's just put it this way: the league is the only way. Your biggest inspiration, Mr. Lukita, one of my favorite ever players. Those guys, when they leave, they can leave with their head held high. I know they don't have to do anything more to really gain any more respect while leaving, but if they leave like what Benzema did, it left a sour taste in my mouth, man. Like when Benzema left, I was sitting here in the Gracias, Karim Benzema, his tribute episode, and I was arguing with Farouk and Mo, telling him, don't you think, his relatives or, people, his friends or rival fans, they would mock Benzema for the way he left the Champions League, 4-0 down to City at the Etihad, like I said that out of pure emotion in the moment. Obviously, I know nobody can chat to us, nobody can chat to Kareem, but it's just the reality of the situation. I just want them, whoever it is, if it's Nacho, if it's Modric, to leave on a high. But yeah, but that's just me. A couple other performances. Carvajal again, excellent. I don't know what this man injects himself before games, because ever since he has the armband around him. I know Nacho was the captain tonight, but still, man, like that captaincy stint has, given him extra powers, and every single game he looks a better version of himself. Whether it be reading of the game, just pure aggression. His like the couple of yards of pace that I thought he lost. Sometimes he just convinces me that he still has that burst of acceleration. He is deceptively quick. I'm just super happy for Carvajal, man. Like, you just like who said that on the last post match? Was it you? Was it Farouk? When you compare both our flanks, the flank with Carvajal looks so much more fluid, so much more cohesive, right? And that's for a reason. It's because of this man's brilliant positional intelligence, right? He is one of, or if not the most complete modern fullback.
Definitely, yeah. He gets overlooked all the time, when you speak about the best, which it's still it will always be a difficult topic to talk about Donny as one of the best and all that. It's just because of the inconsistency, and we all know that. We wouldn't be talking about this if it weren't true.
The inconsistency started 2 years ago, but until then, Carvajal was one of our most reliable performers, right? Remember?
People are very, recency bias. Those two words are always
Yeah.
on our minds.
Yeah.
Especially
Yeah.
for us that we talk about football, so you have to mention it. But for Carvajal, look, I think it was me that compared our sides, and if you look at it, it's actually kind of depressing.
Mm.
But at least for Carvajal and his qualities, you can expect him to be good in the defense, and you can expect him to be like at a striker position for no reason, and then actually do something with the ball. It's just he's all over the place, which is a good thing, which is definitely a good thing. He's been there so many times, crossed so many times, assisted so many times, scored goals for us. Even last time,
Had a near post header today as well. Was super close, if you remember.
Very close, very close. So he's such a quality player. The only thing we just have to hope for is that he can keep it up. Just stay healthy, Danny. Just keep it up, And the only ick I have with Carvajal sometimes is his temper, which is not. He's not the kind of player to like fight like with fists and stuff, but he's the kind of player just to like give you a shot too much, just a little annoying.
Yeah.
Which
Just
goes against him.
give you a little reminder that
And,
you're there.
The game changed. There's a lot more cameras on every player. The game changed. Before you could definitely do that. I do when I play because there are no cameras when I play. But right now there's HD 4K cameras on you, Danny. Stop doing it. Stop fouling players. And there have been like some moments during the last few seasons him giving up important talent penalties and all that. But if you're gonna compare him and Mendy, Garcia, Camavinga, any of our fullbacks, Vasquez, no one is no one is better than him. No one, and he definitely did. He deserves to be this good. He's worked so hard, and to get to this point at this age, to still be kicking it this good, is just congratulations, Danny. Congratulations.
100%. He has, he is weirdly a player that has outlasted two dynasties. Let's just say, this is his second dynasty. First one was, there's Zidane's three-peat winning Champions League side. He has. I think this is maybe the third dynasty. Like the first dynasty was Zidane's first stint, then came his second stint, and this is Carlos' second stint. So I think this is the third dynasty that he's part of. So yeah, man, Carvajal, he always requires, tremendous appreciation and plaudits for his determination to come back from adversity every single fucking time. A few of the comments. Hassan was saying, I was 7. Yeah, Hassan, mate, you're too young for this. But Hassan was saying, by the way, if we lose to Barca while they wear that kit with that goofy sponsor, Carlo needs to be sacked on the spot. Or the Spotify, some logo, something, right? Rosalia or something. I remember a tongue logo or something. So fucking weird, man.
Yeah, Rolling Stones' new album.
Yeah, the Rolling Stones album.
At like 19 years of age. But
yeah.
And I'm not jealous. I'm not at all. It's not even.
No, but no. Hassan was saying if we lose to Barcelona,
it's just gonna hurt a lot more, because I'm definitely not jealous of that.
Right. Iraqi time was saying Barcelona's current team is looking good. Do you think Jude Bellingham will manage to score against them? I'll be honest, Tain, during the pre-season Clásico, we were expecting Jude to be pretty decent, but he went missing. I just hope Barcelona apparently has a few players coming back as well. I'm not sure about Lewandowski, but I heard Pedri might make the cut. I'm not sure, they're missing quite a few of the important players. I don't know how in tandem, how in sync Barcelona would be. If they play like they played in the Clásico, Jude will be completely nullified, because if you put 2-3 man on Jude and completely give him no space to, dictate the game from, like Jude. Let's be honest, Jude is an exceptional talent, but he is not Diego Maradona. He is not Cristiano Ronaldo, right? You can't really expect much, if you're triple teamed. Iraqi time was also saying Real Madrid is slowly starting to get tight after Karim the Dream left. Do you think he was the solution? I'm not sure what the question is. Karim was the solution. Obviously, Karim was the solution. If you think otherwise, you're anti-Madridista. I'll be honest.
I think he was talking about something else when we were talking about his absence. He was talking about Jude or someone, but it's been a while.
Okay, probably. Iraqi time was okay. This is a good segue to our next talking point. We are slowly creeping up to the hour mark. We need to slowly wrap this up. Time was saying, do you guys think that Modric will go to Saudi in the January transfer window? This question has been asked to Carlo, has been asked to Luka, has been asked to Dalic. Everybody left and right has been asked this question. Doris, as a fellow Croat, what do you think is going to happen?
I said it last year. I said it the season before. It's so disrespectful that you guys even keep asking that. The dude never. He's been saying I will retire at Madrid, and not only that, I keep saying those questions only come up when he's out for national break.
Yeah.
Not gonna break. Every single time, and it's because of our own journalists. Because when
You,
he
you
comes
know you
back,
know the reason, right? I think this is a very planned, right? This is completely planned,
every
right,
time,
Doris?
every
Yeah.
single time, every
Mm.
single break we've had, every single one, he's been asked
You
the
know the
same
reason, right? You know the reason, right?
No, the reason is our own media. Just like you have Spanish media, you have
No,
English
no,
media, you have
but the
Croatian
reason
media, and we
I'm
like
asking,
it.
no, I'm asking you, why do you think our club journalists try to spin this narrative? Why do you think they bring this out during international break? You know the reason. It's right in your face.
What is it? So I think
The,
you're aiming
the,
at something.
yeah, because you're not. I don't think you're quite recognizing it. The club hates Luka playing for Croatia. Simple as, you know.
Well,
The club
why?
doesn't like it because he is 38 and the club knows that he is special. His energy is much more better used with us. It's similar to what happened with Di Maria during the World Cup.
Okay,
Like it's. Hmm.
the question there is if he can handle it. But you know, first of all, it's Luka. The dude can the dude can run. Like he can run. You know, and at 38, has he not proven that he can still do it? And that's not even the point. What I'm trying to say about the journalists and all that, it comes from here every single time. I can show you the newspapers, like from the second his foot steps on Croatian soil, it starts. And it starts every time because we got nothing else to talk about. It's Luka, it's the magnificent Luka, and all we talk about is that. Not because of Madrid, we talk about it because is he still gonna play for us? You know, because if he doesn't play for Real, he's not gonna play for us. You know, for Croatia. That's the only reason. And as a journalist, as a Spanish journalist or whatever, of course you're gonna look at our newspapers and see what he's said to us, what we asked him and stuff like that. And of course we're gonna ask him that, and it's the same for years. Years. He's 38. He's been asked that same questions for like 8 years now. And we're still talking about it. When he feels like it, I'm sure he will fucking tell us, you know. And for the summer, okay, we can definitely talk about it if he's gonna play here next year. But for the winter transfer window, that's just pure disrespect to Luka. Like I cannot even imagine like that coming across my mind. If that happens, I'll gladly leave this mic here and never come back. But come on,
That's not gonna happen.
great. No, but that's just
Yeah.
disrespectful to a player that's been here for 10 years, dude. Won you 5 Champions Leagues, won a Ballon d'Or with Croatia and Madrid. Like, how disrespectful is that? In a winter transfer window, come on.
It's just. I'm telling you, people. I'm telling you, people within the club, right? It's just their modus operandi, man. Like when one of our players starts to slow down a bit,
Yeah, well,
they send out people
the only
in the media.
person we should be listening to here is Luka, not our
Yeah,
journalists, because our journalists are still, you know, doing the job for themselves. For
yeah. Simple as.
simple as.
But quickly about tonight's performance, did you see something encouraging? Because yeah, like we have been here this season for Luka. Like minutes have been scarce, but there have been a couple of games where stuff was encouraging. Do you think that he will be back in the starting lineup indefinitely?
Definitely, probably not. And it could be, you know, I mean, we have an abundance of midfielders right now, which is a good thing, and it's a planned thing, you know. It's not for, you know, for no reason that it's like that. He will probably never be like undisputed starter like he was, you know, last and the previous season, and you know, forever now.
You really believe? You
Right
really
now,
believe? Yeah. He's not going to be undisputed. Like even for like a span of like
for a
let's just say 2 weeks,
but
right?
undisputed would mean undisputed, that you can dispute
Yeah.
You cannot dispute it after a few years.
That's just sad, man.
The
That just
whole
makes me
meaning of
feel.
undisputed,
That just makes me feel fucking old, because the last time Modric was, disputed, not undisputed. It was way back. It was when Xabi Alonso was playing for us. It's mad.
Yeah,
It's crazy.
way back.
That's what happens whenever I see Modric nowadays. I just hope for that wow moment. That moment that makes your heart skip a beat. That classic vintage Luka performance. It's just hard to watch him trying to gain some fitness, some sharpness. We have discussed this many a times on this very podcast that he is someone who likes continuity, who likes rhythm. But yeah, it's just.
But also, I think when you start seeing one thing, it's difficult to unsee it, and you only keep seeing that one thing, It's. I think that is happening with him this season. People are acting like he's been so shit that he shouldn't be playing. Kroos should only be playing. Modric maybe for like 20 minutes. And who are you talking about? You're talking about we are allowing every single other player in our team to be absolved of criticism because our team is not playing well. In general, we're missing a focal point in the attack. Luka cannot pass to Karim Benzema. How are we even when Cristiano left? Just imagine shitting on Vinicius or whoever or anyone in our team because Cristiano is not there. Why are you not doing it? Why are you not doing it? Come on, do it. Score a goal.
Let's be honest. Doris, let's be honest. Like, people don't criticize Modric for.
It's the same thing for Tony too, and it's just. It's
just performances in isolation. He doesn't look the same. Luka just doesn't look the same this season.
No, I'm not saying that he's the same player and he's 38. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying that when you start seeing it that way, that's the only thing you're gonna see, and you're only gonna compare him to that. And it's unfair, and we're not comparing, we're trying to at least, to not compare, other players, at least this season, since we didn't get the transfers that we wanted except Jude, but we didn't get, what we wanted from our team or what we want our team to look like, We have Tony there, we have Luka there, that have been playing there for years, a decade. And you remove first Cristiano, then Bale, Di Maria, Benzema, everyone from that, and now you're left with Vinicius, Rodrigo, and Joselu. Who are you passing to? Like, there is no one up there who is he supposed to create to? If he doesn't score the goal himself, what is he supposed to do? Especially for him that he's playing on the right side, where Rodrigo is supposed to be, and then you add Joselu there or whoever. It's not the same. It's just not the same. And we're criticizing him for everything that is fair. It's completely fair to criticize him for it, and Tony too. But why are they the only two players that we forget about the other elements of it, and we only criticize their fitness first, and their ability and it's just not fair. I don't think it's fair for players that have been here a decade, and you know what they can do. It's not like they suddenly became untalented and they don't know how to kick a ball. They suddenly lost their football and IQ and they cannot see the player there. They're completely blind to it. Now I'm not gonna pass to him. There's a better player there. I'm gonna I don't get the logic behind that.
It's just
reactionary, and I think
it's reactionary. It's recency bias.
Just to blame someone,
That's just. It's a very good point, but like you said, the more underlining matter of fact is the thing that you said before that, that people actually look for something to scapegoat, especially after a terrible performance. But I'll be honest, Doris, I don't know if it's just age, but if we're talking about age, he's 38 now, but yeah, he was 37 the year before, but he just didn't look this shaky. I'm going to use the word shaky because I'm going to use the word shaky because Luka Modric was someone I felt never in my entire existence I would see him losing a 50-50 or going into a 50-50 looking in, two minds. I've never seen Modric do that. So yeah, like like how life humbles everyone, I think, age has, caught up with Modric. I hope, he can, because plenty of times we have seen people, have that inner battle with aging. Some players, they succumb to it, they call it quits. Some players, they come out the other side. Modric has already, fought a couple of more battles with the age factor, and he has always come out unscathed. I think this is just a blip. Hopefully, it improves. And tonight, by no means he was average. He was very good, but just not excellent. Our midfield really wasn't all that great. Was functioning, aided to keep our team, especially you super compact, super neat and tidy in the first half. Second half, I think second half is a combination of us taking the foot of the gas, a classic on the weekend, clear direction from the management to exert as little as possible, get the 3 points, get out. It was something along those lines, 100%. Let's quickly talk about their goal. We have to, because in the preview, Farouk and Jacob were talking about guys like Bruma, Abel Ruiz from Barcelona, doing something. But Jalo, the guy who scored for them on the opening match day of the Champions League, stunned us for a second. Because up until then, Doris, if you remember, 2-0, I'm yawning. I'm getting bored. I'm like, fuck this shit. Just blow the whistle already, because the crowd had already given up. The players looked defeated already. The Braga players. But this guy Jalo, let me tell you this, okay, Doris, the guy who scored against us today, he is Madrid born and a Barcelona fan. So in a way, it was written in the stars for him to make an impact. But like you said, earlier in this very post match, like how we basically let him run, take his ample time, and yeah, take a shot near post. Kepa should be doing better again. Never like seeing keepers getting beaten at the near post. But quick thoughts, Torres. Usual signs, right? Like usual, we could see that goal coming at least a mile away.
Very rarely do teams score like a long range screamer against us or something like that. It's always the
Yeah,
same thing. Always the same
yeah,
thing. And
yeah,
it's just getting boring at this point. Especially because, like I said, I don't think either Nacho or Rudiger were really at fault there. Maybe Nacho because it's his, it is his side. But still, it was Kamavinga and Fran that let him get there. And like the space between Fran and Nacho was just, I don't know how they even let that happen, but it did. And it's definitely something like we keep saying, but we should probably work on that. Probably, maybe if we tell Ancelotti, I'll call him and tell him. But but yeah, it's just a typical goal and something that we've actually seen from Kamavinga before. Maybe a bit of ball watching, where he has so
hmm,
many great moments in the defense. So
yeah,
many, like where he saves us and the balls that he retrieves and all that. But then just that one moment where he
yeah.
just looks around himself and oh look, oh yeah, it's a goal. And it's been like quite a few times that happened to him, where he does so great for the entirety of the game and then lets the other team score basically. But yeah, that's why I think Rudiger was, even better um, than I said that he was, just because he didn't let that happen on his side. But to be fair, on his side he has Dani Carvajal on this side,
Yeah.
so it's also unfair to.
But Nacho in general, like he had a couple of good moments, but Nacho in general this season, like yeah, he might have had like a couple of decent games, but yeah, like he has fallen off a bit.
He
I
hasn't
believe,
been impressive by any means.
Mm.
I really love Nacho, and I always hope, if only he was, the star player, if only. But this
Mm.
just it never was, It just never worked out that way. I mean, now he has the captain, you know, band, which was a big talking point before this season started. If Nacho was gonna leave, and just imagine if he did, it would be horrible if he did. But now that he is here, we don't have Alaba, we don't have Militao, so we're settling with Rudiger and Nacho,
Yeah.
and then add to that Fran Garcia and Mendy that's not playing at his best.
Let me ask you this. Let me ask you this, Doris. Right. So Nacho's band has been reduced. I think that's confirmed. Right. Alaba was rested for the Clasico. So Rudiger is kind of fixed for all of us, right? Like he has been the best centre back so far this season.
Yeah.
So who starts beside him for you?
Beside Rudiger for the class.
Yeah.
Alaba.
Yeah.
Alaba.
Alaba. Yeah? Okay.
Alaba.
Fair. Fair.
Look,
Right.
and usually the Clasico is one of the games where I would love to have Nacho just because of the person that he is, and what he brings to a Clasico, and just his I like his temper. He can he can punch. But yeah, Alaba is just, there's a reason we signed him, and there's like we won already so much with him, and he's already showed us his quality. Has he been the best this season? I don't think so. But Nacho, in general, I had so many hopes for him, and like he's in that age where he should, he's a veteran already.
Already, yeah.
It's a problem when you cannot teach a player anything else. He's at that point in his life. You can only learn so much until like a certain age. But at this point, he needs to get his shit together. Like he has blips, in games where my heart just stops, just because it's Nacho, and the fouls that he makes, he gets yellow every single game, like literally every single game. I think if you go on like SofaScore or anything, you will see like he's just yellow, 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 yellow.
He's a yellow card magnet.
He is. He really is. And for a center back, to always be on a yellow,
Yeah.
it's dangerous. It's very dangerous. Thankfully, he doesn't get sent off that often.
Yeah.
But he
Yeah.
definitely could, and it's dangerous. Not even if you're on a yellow, you're changing your tactics of your team, and the other team is targeting you. So if
100%.
such a negative impact with just one thing, without you even without the way, like,
You're just this is turning out to be a witch hunt. I'm gonna put a stop to it. So yeah, Nacho
no,
had a bad game. We all know that. Like
that's not what I mean.
it's just no, like our team, like its defensive structure, it's in its totality is having a very bad start of the season. So I just hope that is what is getting to Nacho. Rudiger. We all know how error prone Rudiger is as well. He's just been that guy who looked the least sus, in this stage. Hopefully, Nacho, like when the team wakes up, he'll be back to his best because we need him. We need him. We all know that Alaba can't stay fit for the entire season. It's just just the way it is. Alaba is gonna be. He was always injured, even when he was younger.
And
He
I'm
used to
saying
always
that
get.
for Militao too. And I talked about it last season and the season before. Sometimes he just decides during a game, I'm not gonna play anymore. Just sits down, puts his legs up in the air or something, and he just decides, nah, I think I'm injured or something. I think I pulled something. Militao, who is 24 now, 25, I'm not sure. I think that's a much bigger problem than Alaba, or not sure. It's not that he's injury prone, but he's what's the word for it? He likes to find them himself, I guess, and not in a way that he will miss a few games, but I will. This game is over for me, so I will leave the field and someone else can replace me. For a dude
He's
that's 24
a
now,
he's a bit too laid back. He's a
yeah,
bit too laid
that's
back.
dangerous for the next 6, 7, 8 years.
Yeah,
It's a
yeah.
dangerous game to play for him.
No, let's not talk about 6, 7 years, because if he's gonna do shit like that, he won't survive with us. It's just simple as. But I completely understand, where your fears come from. It's just young age, I guess. Centre backs, they mature with age. I hope. His temperament, his anticipation of the game gets better. But there's one big person we didn't completely talk about. We talked about Nacho for ages. We talked about Fede. Vinicius, complete comeback to form, 2 assists, looked bright from the get-go. Only one small gripe for me. Final chance of the game, 1v1, should have squared it to Vasquez. The goal would have gotten a goal. But apart from that, super encouraging. I was very concerned, the way he came back from injury and wasn't really looking sharp, wasn't really looking like the pre-injury Vinicius. Now I'm, starting to see more of that neck-breaking pace, that initiative, especially. But yeah, again, like with Militao, do you remember that instance where Vinicius is thrown goal, then he's 1v1 with the defender, and then he basically just stops and decides to have, coffee and biscuits, I don't know, tea, right? I like people doing it. We grew up with Cristiano's step overs, remember, right? But these guys, maybe it's just the lack of penetration, lack of, it's just sideways, couple of step overs, and then wait for the referee to blow a whistle, or wait for the ball to go out of play. Yeah, that doesn't. Not a fan. I'm a huge fan of what Brazil does as a national football team. But yeah, when I see Vinicius doing that, what's the purpose even? You're not even entertaining. It's just waste of time. But yeah.
Well, it brings you well for the message that Hassan said. The deputy spokesperson for the Barca board of directors said it's not racism. He deserves a slap for being a clown and a jail. What do these dribbles represent in the middle of the field? Thoughts?
Yeah, well, me as a fan of Vinicius, as a fan of the club that he represents, I just made my concern that he shouldn't be showboating in a game that we really need to win, force the issue, score another goal, keep people, prevent people from suffering a heart attack. That's what I would say. But what this guy says over here is pure nonsense. He's just spewing racist hate propaganda. I'm not that kind of guy.
I think it's just hypocritical. When they spend so much time talking about Neymar and how great he was, and his playback and his dribbling and all that, and he's been injured. He's the player with the most injuries. Everyone was injured. How hypocritical is that? It's okay to say that about Neymar, but not about Vinicius, because Vinicius obviously deserves it. But Neymar didn't, People were doing it for no reason, obviously. Come on, man. Just get over yourself.
Who the fuck?
Look, whatever it is entertaining, and it's a lie that it's not. Is it useless? Probably, but that's our problem, not theirs. Everything else, people are watching it for that. It's literally a
Yeah.
lie that it's not entertaining. Even if it's entertaining in a bad way, it's still entertaining. And what it means for our team, it's our team, not theirs. You know, that's all I gotta say about that. Okay, but yeah, no, I'm serious about that. I'm honestly so done with these quotes of useless people having useless opinions.
Honestly, it's just you know how the internet and how the algorithm works, right? The more shit you say, the more twisted, the hateful shit you say, the more the algorithm would push you, right? The more negative stuff you would spew, the more the algorithm wants to push you to the forefront. It's just the way stuff works in 2023. I just hope, yeah, man, all these guys are not given a platform to speak on. Not given the comfort of a mic to speak on. Yeah, like why ask them questions? Like you just quite really know what you can expect from a Barcelona rep. But yeah, I guess we covered pretty much everything. Kepa Arrizabalaga, again, not convincing. He might have a good couple of saves here and there, but he wasn't really tested. But the few occasions where he's on the verge of being tested, I lose my mind. I'm like, oh my god, I wish there was Thibaut. Like, stop giving
Yeah.
that vibe to me, Kepa. That's the only thing I ask of you. I used to hate you with all my heart, right? I used to despise you, for wrong reasons, right? The Chelsea days, it's all gone by. You're on our side. We want to root for you. Just make it a tad bit easier to root for you. That's the only request. He is a good
I'm
good
surprised that he's
shot
so
stopper.
quiet. He's so quiet.
Mm,
Like
mm.
in general, he's so quiet. You don't really see, like for Thibaut, you could see him. He was yelling at people, and he likes to talk about his performances and all that. Which a lot of people are not fans of Thibaut.
Yeah.
Talking about himself, but still, it's a huge contrast to Kepa that we basically don't even know. He just
You,
hasn't
you,
been
you're ta-
consistent.
are you talking about during the game shouting instructions or
Both,
post game?
both. But in general, has it really made a big impression on you?
Kepa is 29. He's not young. He's older than you and me, right?
Yep,
He has a baby face, right?
yep.
But he's coming into a dressing room with seasoned veterans, not just seasoned veterans who has a good record of collecting trophies every fucking year. So it's solely natural that he
Fair,
would
but
have a
let's
voice.
not pretend that Kepa just appeared one day. He's been playing for a long time, like top football. He's been like the
Won the Champions League with Chelsea,
for
you know.
Bilbao, like at
Yeah.
21, 22. Like that's crazy. That's crazy.
But you're coming
And
into a team that has the best goalkeeper in the world, Torres. It's
he
different.
came to Chelsea and won the Champions League.
He wasn't starting for Chelsea, but I get your
But
point. Yeah.
come on, that's still like it. No, I mean for that season, I don't know. Look, for
He has
me,
experience. He has played at
he
top
hasn't
clubs. Yeah.
made an impression for like Alaba has from the moment he was here. You
Yeah.
felt
Alaba's a different breed. Different breed.
just an example, like a
Yeah.
recent like bigger signing. It's just an example, but in general, like I don't like even the camera is like panning from him, to the to the sidelines or somewhere. But yeah.
That's a violation. That's a violation. I need to stop the stream right fucking
Yeah.
now. You shouldn't have said that, but but let's leave it at that. A big up every single one of you in the chat who were here supporting us. I know there's kind of a late stream, um, but yeah, people like always, like the past 2 years, we just gotta do this. because we love having this conversation with you guys. Like I always would like to remind you people, what makes this show is this two-way conversation. If we just come over here and speak between ourselves, it's pretty boring, to be honest. It's because we have a back and forth, a to and fro, which is why this is interesting and motivates us to actually show up. But yeah, it's a pretty busy week for us. So tomorrow we're going to take a slight day off. Thursday, the time slot isn't fixed yet, but ESPN's Samuel Marsden would be back with us in less than like 5-6 months. We are back again, doing an El Clasico preview. Such a sweet guy. I just have to stress this. Samuel Marsden is one of the best people I've met in my life. He's just super sweet, super kind, always shows us love. Yeah, I hope I can, pick his brains about what Vincent Kompany has been doing for Burnley as well. Hasn't been, particularly a great start for, the Clarets and the Premier League, back in the Premier League. Also, on Friday, we'll be having another Barcelona special, an El Clasico combined 11 is what we have in mind with Hafid, Barca boy. Go check him out. He's going to be a frequent collaborator with us also, for the immediate future. So yeah, keep your eyes peeled on our socials. Expect content from Madrid. Like usual, show some love to our team in Madrid as well. Some real, dedication and hard work goes into, putting stuff out from home. But yeah, big up to all our audio listeners as well for sending in love, showing us love during the voting as well. All feedback, positive or negative, it really makes a difference. Not gonna lie, you might seem like you might ask yourself, what's the point of sending them something negative? Well, I'm going to tell you, every bit of feedback, pushes us further towards making this a better version of, what you want to hear and interact with. Yeah, super, super exciting period during the year. Doris, if you have anything else to add, any last words before we wrap this up?
Not really. I think I talked too much this time, and
Right, Doris is a slightly. It takes a while for me as a host. I know each person's temperature, right? And Doris is the person that has the longest thermometer among all the panelists, because it takes a while for her to really speak up. So for her to get to that level, I have to work extra hard. So yeah, people
can't stop me. So
yeah, that's also a problem.
I'm a woman after all. I'm a woman after all.
Oh, you're being sexist now. Shut up. But yeah. So whenever you see Doris being super super loose, it's because of me. Right? Yeah, you guys should send in more donations, for that to happen. But yeah, it's been an absolute pleasure, Doris. Also, big up Real Madrid Committee, our partners on Instagram. Go check them out. They run a brilliant fan page. So we'll see you in less than 48 hours for the big El Clasico preview with ESPN's Samuel Marsden. So until then, people, Ala Madrid.